Now I'm going to talk about our good friend Rahm Emmanuel, whom Hillary Clinton said in 2016 in the March primary is doing a good job. Rahm thinks Medicare for all is a pipe dream. I'm worried about the Democratic Party's new focus on Medicare for all. The merits of the policy are anything but a slam dunk, but more immediately, the politics are a minefield. When it comes to healthcare reform, Democrats need to mind three basic rules. First, experience teaches us that much as Americans hate the status quo, they are not too excited about change either. Second, policy is not everything. Political communication counts too. Third, success ultimately rests with uniting with your allies and dividing your opponents. Medicare for all is guaranteed to frighten many amongst the vast majority of Americans who already have health coverage, because of course no one's running up to them basically saying, "Oh, get rid of my health insurance." It would require a disastrously unpopular tax increase on the middle class, and it would unite a world of special interests against us. This dog won't hunt. This is coming from Mayor Rahm Emanuel. And this, guess where he wrote it from? Washington Post. Democracy dies in darkness. Because let's face it, Washington Post has no special interest in regards to supporting Medicare for all. Perhaps worse, we cannot afford to try and then fail. Losing our health care will make it more difficult for us to make progress on education, the environment, or other social justice issues. Even though, Rahm, remember, you told Barack Obama to cut loose the grassroots supporters and activists. Don't listen to progressives. I mean, you said that. You did that, Rahm Emanuel. You said it to Obama. Don't forget that you did that. We need to start on a different path. So let's use history and context as a guide. I'm mystified as to why at a moment when 90% of Americans already have insurance.
Say that number again.
Hang on. One more time. I want to catch Eric's reaction. I'm mystified as to why at a moment when 90% of Americans already have health insurance, our presidential debates are focused so exclusively on expanding coverage rather than containing costs. That's the challenge that bedevils most families constructing their monthly budgets. I screwed that word up. At the kitchen table. Moreover, let's not forget that the Affordable Care Act, also known as Romney Care, Romney invented the Affordable Care Act.
Which Rahm didn't even want to do.
Yeah, represents the only time in a century of trying that universal coverage managed to get a vote on the floor of both houses of Congress. Lightning rarely strikes once, but twice in fewer than a dozen years. Maybe you think Medicare for all is the way to go. If so, please explain to me exactly how we can get that bill through the Senate. Remember in 2010 when we had 58 Democratic senators, yet we weren't able to get a vote on a public option? Even if we draw a royal flush in next year's election, we'll have only 51 votes. Here's an offer. You identify me 9 Senate Republicans who are going to vote to break the filibuster against a single-payer system, and I'll publicly declare the New York thin-crust cardboard pizza is better than Chicago's deep dish pizza. First of all, fuck you, Rahm. You don't ever get to talk about Chicago after your 8 years of mismanagement. Let's remember, America, because you guys are going to be seeing him more on your television. Under Mayor Rahm Emanuel's watch, his administration still refused to address lead in Chicago's drinking water. 54 Chicago public schools were shut down under his watch. There was a lack of accountability with the Chicago Police Department. Half of the mental health facilities were shut down. Let's not also forget that gentrification was running amok all across the city of Chicago, where communities and people were being displaced. Keynote example, in Pilsen, 10,000 people were displaced, but yet city contractors, major real estate developers had Mayor Rahm Emanuel's ear. And also, let's not forget, too, that Mayor Rahm Emanuel's administration turned a blind eye and refused to even acknowledge the death of Laquan McDonald.
Try to cover it up.
Yep, exactly. So let's get your comments on it, because, I mean, again, this is from Mayor Rahm Emanuel, who wrote on the Washington Post. But go ahead, because this goes even further.
Surprise, surprise. I mean, this guy works for a Wall Street firm. I forget the name. The name escapes my mind, but he's, a Wall Street guy. He helped, he was a big supporter of the crime bill. He did not support the public option when we could have had it back in 2010. This guy, like what Kim mentioned before, he covered up the disgusting murder of Laquan McDonald. all those schools and mental health facilities closed down. So this guy, Rahm Emmanuel said that but 90% of people have health care.
90% of Americans already have health insurance, but also he goes.
Let's forget about the millions of people who don't have coverage or aren't covered enough. Because that's not an issue. Let's just focus on, making it a little more cheaper. Yeah. But why not have what the rest of the world has, like cover everybody for less money and better outcomes?
Yeah. But there's also,
it doesn't make sense. But
go ahead.
Also, he says, like, how's this going to work? We're never going to get this to pass with the Senate. Well, the only way things do get done is with grassroots efforts on the ground. People fighting for these things, like the teachers that are marching in the streets here in Chicago, they're not giving up on their demands that they rightfully deserve. Right. So that's what we need to do, and that's what America will do. That's what the people will do. They got to coalesce with grassroots movements and demand what we rightfully deserve, which is healthcare for all, because we can have it. It's cheaper and it covers all of us, and it gets better results. So the rest of the world has it. So we should too.
All right. So here's something that I want to just read out, because this is the last paragraph. You guys can read the rest of the article on our show, from our show notes. And this is from Mayor Rahm Emanuel, former mayor of the city of Chicago. The bottom line is that there's simply no path to enacting Medicare for all in the current political environment, and promising something we can't deliver will do nothing but depress Democratic turnout in years to come. Since we've already proposing to rewrite the tax code, decriminalize the border, give everyone free college, and eliminate the use of fossil fuels with the Green New Deal, all initiatives that will require us to expand enormous amounts of political capital, maybe we want to be strategic on at least one big ticket item. Our approach on healthcare needs to be centered on political reality, not a pipe dream. Let's pursue an agenda that not only controls costs and expands coverage, but also opens the door for us to succeed fighting inequity, improving education, saving the environment, and delivering social justice. First of all, Rahm Emanuel, bullshit. You're not going to do anything. You're a hack fraud, and I feel sorry for the rest of America that now has to listen to you. By the way, guys, you can keep him. He was mayor for 8 years. We don't want him back. Enjoy listening to him and his neoliberal lies.
Thank you, Kate, for the super chat. Emmanuel was only a Chicagoan to get the job.
Yeah, he's not. Please don't call him a Chicagoan.
Nope.
No. On behalf of everyone in the city of Chicago, please. He's not one of us. We don't want him back. I'm happy that he's gone.
So basically what Emmanuel is saying is that, forget the working class people, the majority, forget your issues, because what you want is not realistic. Fighting back against climate change, having higher wages and, having Medicare for all, the things that the rest of the world has, paid maternity leave, things like that. The only thing that's realistic is benefiting the elite. More elitist, status quo type things, because that's what matters, and that's what's realistic in Rahm Emanuel's mind.
Yeah. So go figure. But now, again, remember, guys, that's Mayor Rahm Emanuel who wrote that article, and now you know what centrist Democrats really think of Medicare for all. Now moving on to our left.
Because we don't have enough people in the media telling us that this can't happen, right?
But don't worry, he was with Obama's administration, so he knows what he's talking about.
He's really sticking his neck out.
Yeah.
Telling bullshit propaganda.
Go figure.